Hi friends, welcome to the Lori Lulu Crochet Podcast, episode 99. Welcome friends, my name is Lori. I live in the Chicago suburbs with my husband Ryan and our cat Daisy, and I love to crochet and I love to knit and sometimes I sew. You can find all of that on my social media, which is all linked in the description box down below this video. Any patterns or yarns that I talk about will also be linked down below. Is that all for admin? I think so. Welcome again. I'm so glad you're here. So yeah, it's been 2 weeks. Last time I talked to you, I was getting ready to fly down to Florida to go on a cruise. And I have been on that cruise and it was wonderful. And then you come back and real life hits you hard sometimes. So, but we'll cover the good stuff first, shall we? Sorry, my nose is itching already. So Ryan and I went on a Disney cruise. We sailed out of Miami. We went to Castaway Cay, and the weather there was so beautiful, which I was thankful for because the last time we were there together, it was bad. So I was very thankful that he got to have a great day at Castaway Cay, which is Disney's private island in the Bahamas. And then we had a day at sea, which was the Marvel Day at Sea, which is where all the Avengers and other Marvel characters take over the ship, and you get to just meet all kinds of people. It was so much fun. The only disappointment I had for that day was that I didn't get to meet Black Widow, who is my favorite. I met a bunch of others, but not her. So that was a bummer. But she was in the show, the fireworks show that night. So I did get to see her. I just didn't get to meet her. What else? There's something else I was going to say about that day. Oh, Daisy. So Daisy Duck was also dressed as Black Widow, and I was this close to getting to meet her. I was like 2 people behind the cutoff line, and I was like, man. They were like, if you want to stay in the line, you can meet Donald. I'm like, I don't care about Donald. I wanted to meet Daisy. Anyway, it's fine. It's fine. Ryan got to meet Iron Man as he was dressed as Iron Man, so that was awesome. Got lots of pictures of that, and he was very happy about that. And then the next day we went to Cozumel, Mexico, and Ryan and I went on an excursion. It was the Alebrija painting, which I'll show you that in a minute. And then we also went to the Mayan Cacao Company. So yes, chocolate. So this is dark chocolate with mint filling. And then this one is dark chocolate, cocoa nibs, and chipotle chili. I sampled this. I didn't really taste the chili in it, but it may have just been my sample. These have not been opened. I'm waiting for a special occasion to eat that chocolate. And plus I forgot it was still in the suitcase. And then, of course, no trip would be complete without Frida Kahlo. So I found some Frida Kahlo earrings. Oh my goodness. Focus. There she is. Oh, she's so cute. Yeah, I love these earrings a lot. Had to buy them. Absolutely. So yeah, we were in Mexico for a while, for several hours, and then got back on the ship, relaxed, The next day was a day at sea, which we didn't have anything planned other than we had brunch at one of their fancy restaurants. And that was fun, just to have a nice, like a really nice dinner, or brunch actually. But is my hair doing something weird? Anyway, squirrel. And then what else? Oh, the night of Cozumel was pirate night, and so they had a lot of people in their pirate costumes, like Mickey and Minnie, Daisy, all of them were in their pirate costumes, and Captain Hook and Smee were out, so I actually got to meet them, which I've never met them before. I did get to meet Stitch finally, and he was in his pirate costume. Although my t-shirt that I had on at the time said Captain Hook's Pirate Crew, which Hook and Smee loved that, but Minnie was like, hold on a second. And then Stitch was just like, why aren't you wearing a Stitch t-shirt? Like, I forgot it at home. And then he's all, yeah. For those that are kids at heart, like, those interactions just make me so happy. That's why I like going on a Disney cruise. But yeah, so our day at sea the next day was very relaxing. We got to go on the aqueduct, which is kind of like a water roller coaster. It's not really a roller coaster though, because I mean you do have your dips and all that. And I would try to scream, but every time I'd finally get it out or whatever, the water would splash in my face and so. But yeah, it was a great day. And then the next day we were back in Miami and then had to fly home, which, let me just go on a little rant here. I don't really like it that the airlines make you wait until 4 hours before you're set to fly that you can finally check in. So it's frustrating because, like, you're stuck at the airport, especially when you just get off a cruise and your shuttle drops you off at the airport. There's nothing to do, especially at the Fort Lauderdale airport. There is nothing to do. At Orlando, there was still stuff to do before you could check in, like they had food court, all of that. So you could just kind of relax a little bit before, like that's what Mom and I did. We went and got food and we did a little shopping. And then we checked in and then, you know, but like that whole time you're like, you have to keep track of your bags because they're not checked. So anyway, and so yeah, Fort Lauderdale is one of the worst airports, I think, just because of that. Like, all the shopping and food is on the other side of security, and you can't go through security till you have checked your bags and all of that. So it's frustrating. So we sat on the floor because there's very few benches, and you know, people that need the benches can have the benches. So we sat on the floor for 2 hours, 3 hours, something like that. Yeah. Not fun. Don't recommend. And so then we get home and it's back to real life. And Sunday afternoon I started noticing a tickle in my throat. And I was like, uh-oh. And so I just messaged my manager like, hey, just so you know, I'm feeling fine right now, but there's a tickle in my throat. It's getting a little scratchy. I'm starting to feel a little congested. And she was like, take whatever time you need. Don't worry about it. And I was like, well, we have the Dutch Fest meeting tomorrow, which is the first meeting. Getting ready for Dutch Fest at work. And she was like, nope, don't worry about it. You just need to focus on getting yourself better if you're sick. And so Monday I was like, I'm just going to work from home. I will Zoom into the meeting, mostly because I was concerned about the committee ladies, because some of them, they really shouldn't be getting sick, so I don't want to pass anything on to them. So I stayed home. I worked half a day and then rested. And then Tuesday I woke up and I was like at like 5:30, something like that. Just feeling awful. Of course, that's when you feel the worst, is like 3 to 5-ish. Those are the hours that you feel the worst when you're sick. And so I was like, just go to urgent care, Lori. That's what you need to do. So my urgent care, you can get in line virtually and set an appointment. Say all this in air quotes because, you know. Anyway, so I got all that stuff set up at 5:30 in the morning. Went at 8:30 to my appointment. Had all the tests done. I tested positive for COVID. I've gone this whole pandemic without getting tested, without testing positive, without getting COVID. I've been sick, but it's always been negative. Not this time. It's like, oh, dang it. So, I'm very mad. I was very mad. And then people started talking in our cruise Facebook group, and a lot of people are testing positive for COVID. So everyone wants all these regulations to go away. Like, you know, they wanted to not wear masks in their pictures. They wanted to be able to hug the characters. They want this, 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 and this. And yet, this is the consequence. We're all going to get sick if we do that. And I should have just worn my mask, but I didn't. The whole time I was like, Rory, you need to have your mask on. You need to have your mask on. And peer pressure, I didn't. So now I'm paying the price. Thankfully, my symptoms were pretty mild. It was like a sinus infection for me, which I get every spring. I've had it every spring since I was in high school, I think. So it's nothing new for me, and I'm getting better. It's fine. Yesterday, Ryan and I went to one of the testing sites that's near here. Got tested. The rapid test, she was like, it's a very faint line. And I was like, she's like, so I'm just going to call it negative. And I was like, okay. But my PCR results should be back tomorrow. So we'll find out about that. So yeah, so to this week I was like, either I worked from home half a day, or I didn't work at all because just need to rest. So yeah, so I've been working on getting better, and then on Thursday my mom called, and my granny is on hospice. And the hospice nurse said that she didn't expect Granny to survive this weekend. So, got my phone here, waiting to hear. Just waiting for Mom to call and tell me that she's gone. And I'm happy. Like, she's not who she was anymore. Like, she's had dementia for a long time. I'm thankful that the last time I saw her, she remembered me. She knew who I was, although she kept asking what year I was in high school. It's like, I'm not in high school anymore. I'm well past that. So I'm thankful that that was like my last interaction with her, although that was years ago. She lives so far away, I don't really get a chance to go see her as often as I would like. So she hasn't been herself for a long time. Like, she's just not my granny that I knew growing up. And I'm thankful that she's going to finally be with Grandpa again. Like, he died almost 12 years ago. And we thought she would die soon after him. She proved us wrong. Half of me is kind of expecting that she's going to survive this weekend because she's a stubborn lady. But she's a graceful, like, she was such a graceful, serene woman. And I wish I had like some of her qualities. I know I do. I definitely have her stubbornness, that's for sure. So yeah, that's fun waiting for that phone call. This morning I woke up at 5:30 because I had a dream. And it wasn't about her, but it was about people saying that they heard about her. Like, we heard about your granny, like, what's the news? And so me just relaying over and over what was happening. So anyway, so I have expected Mom to call me then, because 5:30 is like around the death hours too. It's like, not only do you feel the sickest at that time, that's when a lot of people die, is in the early mornings. So, but no phone call yet, so we shall see. So on that note, let's talk about some yarny goodness, shall we? Yeah, rambling on for 15 minutes. Let's get on with the good stuff, shall we? Not that I want to brush aside what's going on, but there's no point sitting here dwelling on it. So, finished objects. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Actually, I have 4. Ryan has 1. So, as I mentioned, Ryan and I went and did the Alebrija painting when we were in Mexico. Alebrija, if you've watched the movie Coco by Disney Pixar, they are spirit animals that kind of guide the dead. I don't know. I don't know the whole meaning behind them, but they're brightly colored animals. They're mystical animals. They're lovely. And when I told Ryan, I was like, you probably could maybe paint a cat. And he was like, oh yeah, let's do it. So I'll show you Ryan's. He immediately was like, I need to paint Dixie, which is our cat who passed away last year. And as we were looking at all the animal options, there were no cats. But there was a Chihuahua that looks kind of like a cat. And so Ryan painted it to look like Dixie, and then did like the colorful stuff around. So, yeah, so here's our little Dixie. So, first of all, this Chihuahua started out yellow, so he painted over it quite a bit. He even got Dixie's golden eyes. And I don't know why he did the whiskers purple, but anyway. And then, of course, we have these lovely dots. He even did the bottoms of her feet, her little kitty beans. And she always said she had this little dot on her nose that he got just right. So, yeah. So there's a little Dixie. And then I was like, well, I want to do a turtle, but then they didn't have any turtles. So I grabbed Dante, which is a character from the movie Coco. And here's my Dante. Bright pink, and I just put a lot of dots on him. And then these, I tried to make look like knit stitches. So, and there's his face. And then I did a Mickey head. Because of course. And painted his toenails. So yeah. So this is my Dante. My Alebrija with knitting stitches. I tried to do the colors of the Ofrenda colorway yarn that I had with me. So, yeah. Very happy with it. And speaking of the cruise, I will show you, I did manage to finish an object on the cruise. Actually, it was on the flight home. So I was living in my Avengers bag with Black Widow. And Black Panther, I like him a lot too. So in here was my warm fingerless gloves, Simple, by Catherine Cottom. I remember to write down her name this time. The yarn that I used was Allegheny Fiber Arts, and her DK weight It's 100% superwash merino, and the colorway is Color Wheel, which is this here. All these beautiful colors. It's just gorgeous. Just gorgeous. And so, here are my mitts. Actually, they're upside down. Of course they are. Yeah, here, I'll just put them on to show you. So there's my thumb there. I come down pretty far, so that's nice. So pretty much what you do is you make a square and then seam up the sides. That's all. And then she's like, if you want, you can add rivet, you can add a border. So I did a crab stitch around the top, and then I did a single crochet around the thumb. I learned how to do a new stitch for this though, that's for sure. It is an extended single crochet, 2 together. Yeah, it's interesting. It takes a while to get into the rhythm of it, but it's awesome. And I don't know if you can, yeah, you can really tell here. They look totally different because of the way that the yarn gets saturated with color, and when it's in the bath, like it just, I think it's kind of funny. Yeah. These have not been washed or blocked yet. Just haven't had the energy to do that, so maybe this afternoon these will be washed and blocked. Although there's not really much blocking I can do to those. Anyway. Finish object, crochet object number 1. Crochet object number 2 that is finished. Again, has not been washed or blocked. It has been living in my Mary Poppins bag. I love Mary Poppins. This is I'm calling this a COVID finish. Because it's like, I really had zero energy to sit and watch TV and crochet and knit. And even then, like, it's like, oh, knitting, crocheting. Anyway, so in this was the Doris shawl by Cat Golden. That's what it's supposed to look like. Although I don't think the pattern makes it look like that. So I kind of did a Doris-like option here. The yarns that I used. Gotta find what I have left. Okay. So, color 1 was Distortion Fibers, Miss Pearl, exclusive at my local yarn shop, Miss Pearl, in the colorway Bruce, which is this lovely purple. It's so pretty. I love it. Ruth is the name of my other grandmother who has already passed away. So, let's move on. The next one is the other colorway 2 is from RMR Yarn, which is my other local yarn shop, Llama Llama Ding Dong. This is in their fingering sock base, and the colorway is called Motitas de Rocio, which is Dewdroplets. This is a beautiful white with blue and purple and pink speckles. It's just, oh, I love this. So, I was actually working on this when Mom called me to tell me about Granny, so I thought it was fitting that. So I will make sure that this is washed and ready to go to wear to her funeral when that happens. Let me make sure I'm showing you the right side here. Okay. Are you ready to see it? It's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. So, here we are. Ta-da! Wait, oh, where did the stitch marker go? There it is. So, right here the last time you saw it. So I did several rows of the border and then did the second round of the border. Yeah. It's just the right size that I wanted. I thought it was going to be more like a shawlette. The way it was starting to work out. So, there you go. Oh, you can see Minnie Mouse. Anyway, so yeah. I just love it. I love it. So, that is finish object, crochet object number 2. Yeah, so I will be washing and blocking that. And then my knitting project. Then I finished my other COVID project. It's living in this bag. It's a colorful bag, which always made me feel nice when I pull it out. This is made for me by a friend from church. Hi, Lori. And here was a pair of socks. Of course, always have to have socks on the go. The yarn is chameleon hand-dyed yarn. It's an 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon. And the colorway Morning Glory, which is this pink and blue. Lovely. I don't even have these on sock blockers. I just realized that. Oh my goodness. Okay, because I didn't wash them. So they haven't been blocked. Hold on. Okay. Like, I haven't even woven in the ends. Tuck that back inside so you can see them. Tuck that inside. There we go. Here we go. So here are my socks. Aren't they cute? I like them a lot. I really like how this heel turned out. The way the color pooled. The last time you saw, I was here. I hadn't gotten very far in the leg. I decided to do 42 rows for the leg because I'm 42 years old. So yeah, so I do my socks 2 at a time. Vanilla socks, really easy. I do the shadow wrap heel. There's a tutorial by Denise from Earth Tones Girl. And then I just do as much as I want on the leg. And then this time I did a 3x3 rib for the cuff. And I thought about doing another color like for contrast heels, toes, and cuffs, but I didn't really like anything with it, so this is what we got. And I like them a lot that way. So again, wash and block and weave in ends. Okay, makes in progress. I have 2 knitting and 1 crochet. And the crochet is a design in progress. I do have my Just Feel Cozy blanket. I haven't touched that since the last time you saw it. So anyway. Okay, so I took 3 projects with me on my cruise. You've already seen the fingerless mitts. These are the other 2 projects. They were knitting projects. And obviously, I had to do socks. So, zip in here. So I'm doing a pair of socks. Again, 2 at a time. Vanilla sock, shadow wrap heel. Although I haven't gotten to the heel yet. The yarn that I am using is Earth Yarns in their unique fingering base. It's 100% extra fine superwash merino, and the colorway is 3004. I have looked all over to see if there was a colorway name. There is not, which is disappointing. But put that back in the notions pouch so I know where that's at. This is the yarn. Gorgeous rainbow. I realized I'm gonna have to make freaking long socks if I want to have the whole rainbow represented on my socks. So I'm gonna cut and splice as I go. I've already done some. So, oh, well, that's not good to have a pair of scissors just hanging out in the bottom of your bag. Anyway, so dream socks. Ready? Here they are so far. Ta-da! So, last time you saw, I'd started them. I'd just gotten through the toe and then added the new color. And so yeah, we have this gorgeous purple and navy. And we're just now starting to get to the green on this sock. Not so much this sock. It'll be there soon. I did already cut out quite a bit. I think this is both balls together. Anyway. So, yeah, because I don't have another in there. So yeah. And then I decided to put a little code in mine. So I did Morse code. So if it's a dash, it's 3 pearls. And then if it's a dot, it's just 1 pearl. And then there's a knit stitch in between each dot and dash, if there are any. So yeah. So I have my own little code in my socks. To remember that I worked on these on the Disney Dream. Hint, hint. That's what the code is. Anyway, so yeah. Very excited to work on those. And then my other project, sewing in my Kalisha bag. With my favorite Disney princesses on it. Oh, love it. So the pattern that I'm working on is a knit project. It is the Bankhead hat by Susie Gourlay. Very simple hat. So I was like, that'll be easy. My plan had been to take it with me on the bus as we were going to our excursion, and then I was like, I just don't want to deal with losing that if I ever did. Like, I would die. The yarn is RMR Yarn Company. My favorite. It's their Aran worsted weight in the colorway Ofrenda. Which, if you've seen the movie Coco, you know what Ofrenda means. And this is the color. Oh, gosh. It's so pretty. So, like I said, I was trying to make Dante look like this colorway. So here, my hand. Oof. Don't lose stitches, please. So I didn't work on it on the bus, but when we got back to the ship and we were in line meeting characters, I had it on my arm. And so here we are. So last time you saw, I was here. I just started. I'd done the brim, and then I just really started. I don't think my brim is as long as the pattern requires, but I don't care. Oh, I'm getting all tangled with this. Anyway, so yeah, I am just loving how this is working up. I tried to do the long tail cast on, and then I had such a long tail afterwards, like ridiculously long, so I was like, I'll do my first row with that, and I got like 3 inches from yes, that's why there's weird ends hanging down. But well, want to maximize the use of all my yarn, because this is just gorgeous yarn and I don't want to waste any of it. So those will get work. Now that I've shown it to you, I will work on them again. Put those aside. Okay. as much as I love working on them, I have a new design that I'm working on. And I've mentioned it before. So this, like most of my designs I try to do in honor of women who inspire me. And one of them is Josephine Baker. Now you may think, like, who's Josephine Baker? Or if you do know her, you really probably only know about her as a burlesque dancer in the 1920s. Very risque. But she was so much more than that. Like, she was civil rights worker. Like, basically why she moved to France is because she couldn't deal with the racism and the segregation here in the U.S. She was like, in France, they like me. So she moved. But she worked as a spy during World War II for the French Underground Society. And so, yeah, she's a pretty cool lady. Anyway, so it is living in this huge bag because I have a lot of stuff in here now. This is my chitingi bag, which my friend Kalisha made for me. I sent her the chitingi. She made the bag for me. So, sorry. The yarns that I'm using are the yarns that I had picked for this are no longer available. Like, I checked Hobby Lobby, they don't make this yarn anymore. So I'm gonna have to find new yarn for this because I want people to be able to use, if they want to use the same yarn I did, I want them to be able to use it. So yarns that I'm using right now, I'm just trying to get a grasp on how it's gonna work. So I'm kind of doing swatches is what I'm really working on right now. So the first one I started on, and I'm not a fan of it, but so it didn't get very much love. I'm not gonna even bother showing you the yarn because it doesn't matter. So yeah, so here's the start of swatch number 1. Kind of increases out this side, and you have this mitered corner. It might still work, I don't know. But then I figured it out. So yesterday I was watching Hercule Poirot, Agatha Christie, another woman that inspires me a lot. And started working on this. Yeah. So here we go. It's a lot bigger of a swatch. And I think in the end it might even end up being bigger. Because I think it's going to start at the big end and then decrease. I don't know. So, but first of all, I need to find yarn that will work for this, how I want it to work. So it's kind of like this Andrea Mowry's Birds of a Feather shawl that everybody was doing like years ago. That's when I got the inspiration for this. So anyway, but here we go. This is the start of it. And I'm just playing around with different stitches, and then I'm going to figure out how to do rainbows, because the name, I already have the name. It's Rainbows and Feathers is the name of the shawl for Josephine Baker. But anyway, so yeah, we'll see how this one goes. I'm not quite sure yet. But speaking of Josephine Baker, so if you've been watching my channel for a while, you know I love this. I got this book a couple of years ago. It's called Crochet Iconic Women, and I loved every minute of working on all those ladies. And then I have my own list of ladies that I was kind of mixing and matching things in with that, making my own ladies from that book. Does that make sense? I hope so. And then Carla Matrani is the author or designer. She came out with a new book. more crochet iconic women. Like, oh my goodness. And let me get to her. The first person is Josephine Baker. Oh my gosh, look at her. And her banana skirt. So cute. Oh my gosh. Now, there are two ladies in here that I've already done that I made on my own. So I may adjust them a bit. I don't know. One of them is Anne Frank, which I've already done hers. And then, I gotta find her. Watch, she'll be the last one. It's looking like no. Here, Tubman I already did as well. But yeah, so like in here, okay, let me find a photo with them all. Like, look at all these ladies. Oh my gosh. And like you have Mary Shelley with a little Frankenstein. Oh my gosh. And Ryan's like, who's Mary Shelley? I'm like, she's the author of Frankenstein. Hello. Oh, okay. Princess Diana, Dolly Parton, Joan of Arc. This is Helen Keller. We have Hypatia, which I have a hat for her because she's awesome. We have Elizabeth the First, right next to Josephine Baker. Like, oh my gosh. And I still have my list of ladies that I'm working on. And I have my Disney princesses to do. I'm like, so. I might have to come up with a new game plan for all of this. But anyway. Like, so I got this on March 8th, which is International Women's Day. I'm a perfect present for that. Yes. And then, of course, you know, I'm blue because I'm sick with COVID. And then this helped me feel so much better. So, I can't wait. So, but I gotta figure it all out. Or maybe I should just wing it. Because anytime I make a plan, it always changes. So, anyway. My COVID brain is just going crazy right now. Anyway. So, I will see you in 2 weeks. Hopefully, I will be feeling better and sounding better. And, yeah. So, see you later. God bless. Bye.